Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Before we continue, let me introduce myself first. So, my name is Shallum and this is my partner.
My name is Luthfi Putra Roberta.
Okay, so today we are going to review one book that names as The Alliance Between Israel, Iran, and United States of America. Thank you.
The book The Alliance Between Israel, Iran, and the United States presents a comprehensive and insightful analysis of the complex geopolitical relations among the three nations in the Middle East. We know today the tension between United States, Israel, and Iran has risen, but this book is very interesting because it is explained about the alliance between the three nations before that was through a combination of historical context and political analysis. The author explores how ideological tension, national interests, and regional strategies have shaped the ongoing rivalry and the alliance between these powerful players. This book is not merely a chronological account of international events, but rather a deep dive into the motive, fear, ambitions, and that continue to fuel the instability in the region. So I think this book is very interesting because nowadays we see that the people in the world start to think about World War III, but this book is actually explain that even between Israel, Iran, and United States, they also have something in common for their national interests, especially in the region called Middle East.
So, at the beginning of the book, readers are taken back to the pre-1979 period when Iran and Israel is maintained a discrete yet mutually beneficial relationship, and particularly in the areas of military cooperation and intelligence. However, the Islamic Revolution dramatically altered Iran's political landscape. So, under Ayatollah Khomeini, Iran adopted a strong anti-Israel and then anti-Western stance, and fundamentally changing the dynamics of Middle Eastern politics. Meanwhile, the United States continued to support Israel as a crucial ally in the region, so seeing it as a strategic partner in upholding Western interests and containing Iran's influence.
One of the book's strengths lies in its analysis of how United States craft its foreign policy toward both Israel and Iran. Based on its broader national interests and a role as a global superpower, the author highlights special relationship between the U.S., United States, and Israel, which has been consistently very strong since the 1960s. This relationship is maintained through extensive military aid, diplomatic support, and influence of the pro-Israel lobbies in American politics. In contrast, U.S. and the Iran relations has been largely antagonizing, especially after Iran's nuclear ambition emerged as a perceived threat to both Israel's security and also regional stability in the Middle East. That's so that the relations between U.S. and Israel have seen Iran as the antagonist and as a threat to the Middle East stability, and of course with Iran ambitions to emerge and try to making nuclear is a threat to both U.S. and Israel.
Okay, so the book also examines key events that have shaped the triangular relationship. So this including the Iran War in the 2003, the U.S. invasion of Iraq in the Syrian civil war, and the joint comprehensive plan of action or weekend called it as JCPOA, commonly known as the Iran nuclear deal. It explains how each of these events triggered reaction and strategies from all three countries. So, for instance, Iran's support for proxy groups such as Hezbollah and Hamas, and the response from Israel and the US reveal how this conflict is not only fought through official diplomacy but also through non-state actors and regional wars.
Importantly, the book provides valuable insight of the broader implication of this rivalry. It shows that the Israel-Iran-US triangle has global repercussions and affecting not only regional peace but also international security. And the diplomatic relations with Europe, Russia, and China has also impact to the three nations we spoke before. The author successfully links historical developments with the current political realities, providing readers with a strong foundations to understand what is not only happening but also why it's happening. So we see today that mostly relations between Iran and Israel is very high tensions, but in here we see about what is their national interest and what is their goals to gain the security and stability in the region.
So today we are already prepared two conclusions, and for my conclusions, from a realist standpoint in international relations, the book illustrates how national interests and survival shape the behaviors of Israel, Iran, and United States. So each state acts rationally to protect its security and extends the influence. So even if the means forming temporary alliance or supporting proxy conflicts, the US-Israel alliance is grounded in mutual strategic benefit, while Iran positions itself as a counterweight to what it views as Western imperialism and Zionist aggression. This conclusion emphasizes that the ongoing hostilities are not rooted solely in religion or ideology, but in pragmatic calculations about power, influence, and regional dominance. The books reinforce the idea that as long as each actor perceives a threat to its national interests, the conflicts will persist, regardless of diplomacy or negotiations efforts.
So, as my friend explains about the conclusion, I will continue his explanations for this one. So, we see that taking a more humanitarian and diplomatic view, the book serves as a sobering reminder of how state-level rivalries can have a devastating effect on civilian populations and also regional peace. The prologue between tensions between Israel, Iran, and US has fueled wars, economic sanctions, and political instability across the Middle East. This is also affecting millions of lives in that region. Rather than continuing to escalate confrontations through the military and ideological means, the book indirectly calls for a rethinking of international diplomacy, one that prioritizes dialogue, mutual recognitions, and peace building. These conclusions see the book as not just an academic exploration, but as a call to policymakers and global leaders to break the cycle's enmity before it causes further humanitarian crisis that happens about this case. So, from this book, for me, I think it's a very recommend, mostly for you guys that want to know about the condition and the situation in the Middle East. And also, this book seems to taught us that we must see conflict or every tensions in this world. We need to see the point of view from nothing is Israel and from Iran, also from United States. This is also can be more information for us to analyze some conflicts in the international relationships. So I think that's from me and from my partner. We're gonna end this here. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.